Hello everyone. What is going on, guys? Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. We are in the Trap map, right? Rocking the Michelangelo tonight. And a cap side, no carrier for once in my life. Thank you, Jesus. We will go and support our zone. We don't have a destroyer, right? One destroyer on this team, and I think this guy, this Z52 on our team makes the smart play and breaks towards this direction because there's a lot more spotting to be done coming around this flank versus if you were to go into the B hole there, you're not really picking up any enemies for your teammates, and when we're battleship and cruiser heavy in a game like this, that's quite valuable, right? So but yeah, loving the Michelangelo, right? This is a fun, unique ship with these two massive turrets in the middle these are your main battery guns, right? And then the kind of shtick with this one is to build into the secondary batteries. That's where it kind of really seems to shine, right? So we'll choose our targets carefully here in the beginning, right? Once we fire our main guns, we are going to we'll be spotted, right? So I'm just taking my time here. We do have the rolling smoke screen, super valuable. Excuse me. And so we'll take our first salvo there, right as we duck behind the corner here, so we don't get spotted after firing that. It looks like the enemies that spawned over by B, right? Somebody's sitting in a smoke screen over there, so we don't get picked up. Nobody had line of sight on us when we fired. So just looking at this Michelangelo on the other team that seems to be coming around the corner, right? So I switched to AP rounds just in case he's nice and broadside for us. We'll have to be careful not to, because we're coming around the corner broadside as well. I just kind of didn't think that he would suspect us to be coming around the corner, but he's playing smart, right? He was already involved in a turn, right, as he came around the corner. And then, yeah, he's got crazy SAP shells, or SAP secondaries as well. So you saw ours go off also. We did trip the booster there, and we did get 28 hits with the secondaries, but of course he ducks behind his smoke. So I'll hold off on using mine just because I know we'll go unspotted here soon. But yeah, he comes out of it here. He fired his main guns. I think that's why he got spotted there. So we get a decent salvo on him here. And then secondaries are still going, of course, as well. He sent torpedoes also. He dodges ours. I was kind of surprised he didn't, I'm surprised he turned in. I'm going to guess he made the assumption that we were sending torpedoes, right? He was playing it smart. But I was like, come on, man. I was certain he would go in and charge at that destroyer that's in the zone and try and take him out, right? Because the battleship that's with me came way out wide here too, so he ends up losing a lot of health. And then, yep, we're unspotted again, right? So I'm holding off on firing our main guns because we know that Kurfürst is out there. I'm trying to give you support, buddy, but he is out of my line of sight. I can't shoot the Michelangelo. Full health Kurfürst coming around the corner here, though, so we will have to plan accordingly. We still have our rolling smoke for when we need it here. He does fire at our battleship there. And I was kind of hoping he'd keep moving forward and he'd get within torpedo range, but he's going to turn out on us here. And we get spotted, so we'll fire the guns and trip the smoke and turn in just in case he's got anything loaded on those rear turrets. And yep, here comes the salvo. Mitigate all of that damage. And yeah, he's within secondary range here, so if they can make it over the land here, we'll get some hits on him that way. I'm just constant. I'm checking my firing main guns in smoke range, right? You have that smoke firing penalty. You let the secondaries ride all day, right? But firing those main guns, if he's too close, that'll get you spotted, and then your smoke screen's useless, right? Of course, now we can't see him either. There he is. Yeah, he does not like the secondaries on this ship, so he's kind of trying to duck behind that corner. We'll just try and angle as best we can. It looked like he fired that salvo before he actually had the lock on us. So he may have just been straight up guessing based on our smoke screen there. get a few more hits on him with the secondaries, and then we've got a nice shot on the Michelangelo here, so we will let the SAP main guns finish him off, and that gives our destroyer kind of free reign on that side to try and capture some zones. But we are still going to have to deal with this Kurfürst over here and whatever the other battleship was. Were they both Kurfürsts? Anyway, 2 battleships. Then yep, we're just being strategic about firing these main battery guns, right? He's got bigger guns than us. Yeah, it's 2 Kurfürsts. Jeepers. Alright, lots of damage to be done here. They're going to have long-range secondaries as well, so it's kind of, you know, you kind of want to be careful about getting too close to them also. But so we get a decent hit on them with the SAPs there. And then I think my secondary battery range is like 9.9, so they should start firing here. Yep, there they go. And since he just fired, we're going to take advantage and get out of line of sight of him so he doesn't get another main battery salvo on us. And we'll send the torpedoes just in case one of those guys comes this way. I was kind of hoping he would start pushing in on us, but he doesn't do that, which is like super frustrating. And now we're kind of, you know, stuck playing cat and mouse here, right? So let's try and be useful, right? We've got, you know, I can't take those guys head to head, right? Especially now that there's 2 of them and my battleship support is kind of leaving the area. So we'll see what we can shoot, right? So we can help out with the B cap here, with the B hole. This, you know, our destroyer is spotting these ships. He manages to finish off the first battleship there. We'll try and help whittle down this Louisiana. Massive health pool on that ship as well. Kurfürst are still kind of out of line of sight, right? So I'm going to just take advantage of it and see what kind of hits we can get here. We do have our smoke screen back now, though, so this will be huge for us. If the destroyer on our team can keep these guys spotted, we could potentially get within secondary battery range of these 2 Kurfürsts and maybe do some work on them that way. All the while getting some shots on this Louisiana. That's going to get us spotted, though. I'm going to send the torps just in case he does turn in hard this way, and then, yeah, we'll trip the rolling smoke just as we get into secondary battery range. And this is where this ship shines, right? We've got a ship on either side, right? Kurfürst on each side. So secondaries are going to town on both sides here, and so we trip the secondary battery booster. We managed to back into the zone to try and help with the capture here. And then, yeah, we'll have to actually hold off on firing our main guns, but then some jerk has radar, and so we get radared. But we're angled appropriately, right? So these 2 Kurfürsts don't really have the best angle on us. And our smoke screen's going to run out soon here anyway, so I'll take advantage of the fact that we have this Minotaur spotted and try and get some shots on him. Might be able to get some torpedoes on that Kurfürst. So we're kind of doing triple duty here, trying to take on 3 at once. They managed to take out our destroyer. We get the assisted on the Minotaur. But just for that encounter alone, we are up to almost 250, 255 secondary battery hits. Like, this is going crazy. We get the torpedo hit to finish him off, and then that makes us go unspotted, right? So we can kind of recoup here. Yeah, and I do have, it's funny, like, I'm rocking Will to Rebuild here. So it has come in handy, right? Like, I know, like, people, like, nobody else does this. I think I'm the only one that likes to put Will to Rebuild when I do these secondary battery builds on the cruisers, but sometimes it comes in handy. So somebody is still hanging out over here in the smoke screen. We are technically losing still just because they've had zones, right? So this is a good example of play the objective, right? So we slammed on the brakes the moment we realized that Kurfürst had a shot on us, and then I turned in, right? So you want to kind of make the right call there. Depending on how you're angled, sometimes it's better to turn out, but it just seemed better to turn in that example. And then, yep, we're spotted now without having fired our guns, so we know that their enemy destroyer is close by. So we will have to be cautious of him. I'm assuming he's off in this direction that we're looking. So we'll see if we can sneak into the zone. See what we can do about taking on this Kurfürst. it's going to be, you could play this a little bit more conservative here, right? Like if you look at the sea cap side, right, we've got 4 ships over there coming through the zone, right? Like, so like backup is on its way at this point, right? So we're not being, you could go a little more conservative, try and save your ship and do a little bit more, but we're being careful, right? Like we're angling appropriately. I'm keeping an eye out for this destroyer. Might be able to get torpedoes off on him here. And we are at 3 kills, so, and there are 3 ships left, right? So Kraken is in play on this one. Get a decent chunk with the SAP rounds there. He knocks out a turret, but that's not a big deal because, well, we can't hardly use them. We'll let the secondaries do their job. Yeah, just getting like great consistent damage, like 300, 600, right? Like that's super awesome, right? And then I'm backing up too here just because like I know that that destroyer is somewhere around here, right? So I'm making sure not to stay in one place for too long. This is that Louisiana that ditched me earlier. Yep, and we're still spotted, right? So we know that destroyer's close by. I'm just going to take a guess, right? I haven't seen torpedoes lately. We'll just send them. We'll adjust course here, get the zone. There's some bullets from him. So there, yep, I was kind of right. He's off that direction, sort of, right? So full health Z-52. We'll have to deal with him. We're technically still down on points right now. But, with the amount of time that's left and the fact that we're going to have 3 zones to their none, we should be able to catch up on this one, right? But we are at 3 kills with 170,000 damage. There are only 2 ships left. This is going to be one worth sticking around for, guys. Alright, assisted capture there. We finally finished our flank, right? It took the whole game, but we finally finished our flank. We got the job done. Z-52 is too close to remain undetected. We will let secondaries work through him. And then we're going to make sure, right, don't just stay one course. We will turn a little bit here. And also it was an attempt to try and get the main battery guns on target as well. But of course he goes into his smoke screen. I'm going to push in on him, right? So I'm going to go this way for a little bit. And hopefully we can bait torpedoes, although if I were him, I'd probably be shooting him at the Louisiana. He's got a, much bigger target, much bigger health pool, right? But nonetheless, just in case. And then now we're going to turn in towards him. That way, if we do pick him up, and we'll be pointed at him, it'll be easier to dodge torpedoes, or we won't be able to get as many of them on us, right? Lots of torps from the cruiser. Okay, so that's a Brisbane, so that makes sense. I was like, man, what is that? Brisbane with a hefty load of hit points still left, along with this Z-52, depending on how much we got off on him with those secondaries. So our work is still cut out for us, but yeah, you can see we do get ahead on points here, even though they took out a ship, right? And then we're going to be spotted because we fired the main battery guns, even though we're in this Z-52 smoke. But I'm going to guess that since we've been kind of charging towards him, that once we come out of the smoke, we're going to spot him. Nope, we don't. He's gotten away. Jeepers, okay. Alright, we'll continue to pick on the Brisbane, just like everybody else who's in range. Decent hit there. Yeah, like 3,100 with only 2 of those shells hit. Like, that's a good chunk. These SAP rounds work great on cruisers. Well, lightly armored cruisers for sure, right? 50 seconds left in this game. The win is ours, but there are 2 more kills to be had here, ladies and gentlemen. We will focus fire on this Brisbane with the main guns because, well, that's really all we can do at this point. And this Z-52 is just like me. When you realize there's only a few seconds left, the game is lost, you might as well shoot your guns, right? I am going to let our secondaries go to town on him, and we pop the Confederate medal there. We send one last salvo at the Brisbane with 20 seconds left in the game. High caliber. there's the kill. Kraken, double strike, and close quarters all at once. Right at the end there. We will take it. That puts almost at 200,000 damage for the game. 5 kills, 619 secondary battery hits with the Kraken there. Good times, good fun game. GG guys, GG. Only 2,700 XP, so I was a little bit went up there. I was hoping to at least break that 3,000 mark, but guess I couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. 254,000 silver is the take-home pay for that one. And I will go through the ship and the commander build here really quick, just in case anybody is interested. But we are pretty much full on secondary battery build here, right? Prop mod for the second slot, concealment for the third slot, and then we are using the reload booster here, right, with the epic mod for secondary batteries. No, I do not want to rate legends right now. And then, yep, free to play commander here. This is a battleship commander, and we are using it on a cruiser. And then Franz von Hipper is, of course, a must for any secondary battery build. I have Azurlane Bismarck, so I am using her, but there are some other choices. I think there's at least one free-to-play commander out there that's secondary battery reload time. That's actually would be better than, for the reload time would be better than that, but we also get the dispersion there as well, right? Then I go risk of catching fire and risk of flood and torpedo damage, right? So... And then this one, you know, like it's battleship main battery reload, right? So you wouldn't get the reload perk from that other one, right? So that's kind of why I'm picking that. Porcupine here is a must for the secondary battery build. Firefighter for the reduced fire chance. And damage party cooldown, right? You could go on second thought for the faster reload time, but I kind of like this a little bit better. And then properly meticulous, right? A lot of people like to pick the master mechanic for the extra heals. But I like this because you get all these extra perks, right? Main battery survivability, like that's huge, right? Like if you're doing a secondary battery build, having those secondary batteries not get destroyed is like can make a big difference, right? I wouldn't pick running with scissors because you're not in a battleship, but you could go fight fire with fire, right? I think that's probably what more people are choosing, right? But I still kind of like the will to rebuild, right? Like some of the perks, the commander perks that we've picked are kind of anti-fiery stuff, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick will to rebuild, right? But that is going to be our Michelangelo video for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way through. I do appreciate those that make it to the end. Thank you, thank you. And yes, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're doing Legends videos pretty much every single day, guys. So we will see you tomorrow.